Jimmy Boyle writes, "Hey there, love the show. It's often the best part of my day. My question is in regards to your movie-going experience. Being involved in a show and a profession where you talk about and review movies so much, do you find it difficult at times to separate the relaxing joy of watching a film from the responsibility you have to judge and critique it later? And if not, how do you separate the two experiences? Thanks and keep up the great work."
For me personally, I don't really consider myself a film critic. I mean, I do some movie reviews, but I do them as a film fan, just talking about my experience at the movies. I gotta tell you, I know a lot of guys in this business who are great, awesome at their job, wonderful dudes, whole bit, but I've become very jaded by the whole profession now. They, like you were saying, they see going to the movies as part of the job, and they come out and they're a little bit jaded. I don't know, man. Me, I just love going to the movie theater, getting a bag of popcorn, watching a movie, woo, and geeking out. I mean, that's just how I do it. But like I said, it's not really a fair answer because I don't really consider myself a film critic per se. I don't think I'm that good. So, I mean, Mary, how do you keep those two things different? Because you saw like 6 movies in the last 5 days.
Well, see, I also, like you, I've never looked at myself as a critic. I've never seen myself as someone who I look at films analytically and I love them, but I always did. I think even before I was doing this for a living, and very fortunately for me, actually making a living doing it, I love going to see movies. I love going to see movies I like. I love going to see movies I don't like. I love thinking about them and talking about them. And so for me, it's very interchangeable because the process of analyzing why a movie didn't work for me is as enjoyable as going into a movie and just loving the whole experience and explaining why. So for me, it's the whole thing is one big like happy rainbow of joy. I love it. I love it. I love all of it.
Dennis, you've been reviewing movies for a long time. How do you separate that?
For me, it's kind of hard because when a movie's really good and it sucks you in, I forget about like.
But I got to review this later.
Exactly, I forget about these things. So when it sucks me in, and even like maybe even some minor flaws with it, I kind of gloss over it because I'm so into the movie. The problem is when a movie sucks and it's terrible, that's all you got is you're sitting there like, well, I'm not into it.
Yeah.
And every little thing that comes out, you're like, oh, that's bad. That's, you know what I mean? So that's kind of when you're not sucked into the movie. That's when the kind of the critical part comes out. But when the movie's great, like, you know, you kind of almost forget that you're supposed to be talking about it later. When we saw Gone Girl, I was sucked in. I was like, oh yeah, we have to talk about this later.
But you know, the thing about a movie that you don't like or a movie that's bad, where I find the positivity there or the joy is, I've never liked to be a person that just says, I hated it, it's bad. I like to understand why. I like to look at what are the things about this film that didn't work. Even if it's everything across the board, I like to understand why. What was it about the performances that fell short? What was it about the production design that took me out of the moment? Or stuff like that. Like I feel like that is part of why I love what I do, and I don't really separate myself from, like, I don't compartmentalize my movie-going experience because I was doing that anyway before I was even looking at movies and reviewing them, talking about them. I would always go in and be like, oh, I didn't like that. Why did that not sit right with me? And I would think about it after and write about it and talk about it. So
if you go to a lot, and we all go to a lot of press screenings now, you can always tell who are the real pros because there are still a lot of guys. I'm telling you, they sit down and once they sit down, they bring out their little note. Lots of these guys still bring their notepads, notebooks. It's like,
I take notes.
I can't take notes. I want to enjoy the movie. That's what I say, but they do it, and that's probably why they're a lot smarter and better than me.
No. Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.